Everyone. Hello everyone, this is Neelam Hande, Assistant Professor in Swedish College of Engineering. Today we'll start with the topic Laplace Transform. We'll start with the very basic introduction to Laplace Transform. So we'll start now. Uh, the Laplace Transform, its inverse Laplace. Then we'll see some tables of Laplace transforms. Then there is a Laplace transform of derivative. There are properties of Laplace transforms, then generating new transforms from current one, and then Laplace transform of some higher derivatives. Again, there is one table, and linear constant coefficients and inhomogeneous differential equations, how to solve them by using Laplace transforms. Okay, then the Laplace transform, the definition is a differential equations involving an unknown function f of t and its derivative is said to be initial value if the values f of t and its derivatives are given for t is equal to 0. These initial values are used to evaluate the integration constants that appear in the solution to the differential equation. The Laplace transform is employed to solve certain initial value differential equations. The method uses algebra rather than the calculus and incorporates the values of the integration constants from the beginning. Actually, the definition is for a given function f of t defined for the values of the variables where t is greater than 0, then Laplace transform of f of t is denoted by, here is the notation, Laplace curly bracket f of t, that is called Laplace transform of f of t, and is defined as Laplace transform of f of t is equal to integration over t is 0 to infinity e raised to minus st into f of t dt, where s is a variable whose values are chosen so as to ensure that the semi-infinite integral converges. The integration should get converges. For example, if you want to find out the Laplace transform of the function f of t is 2, where range of t is greater than or equal to 0, that is upper limit can go to the infinity but your lower limit is fixed, that is 0, then its Laplace transform will define the Laplace transform first, that is Laplace of f of t is integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f of t dt, which is our basic definition. Then we'll put the function. What is our function is 2. F of t given is 2. So we'll put here in f of t. Then it will be 0 to infinity e raised to minus st. In place of f of t, we put 2. As 2 is constant for the integration, we can take it outside. So it is just integration e raised to minus st, and it is, what is integration of e raised to something is e raised to something upon derivative of something. So it is e raised to minus st upon minus s from t0 to infinity. Then it will be, if we put the upper limit infinity, then e raised to minus infinity, it will be 1 upon e raised to infinity, that is 1 upon infinity, and 1 upon infinity is 0. So it is upper limit is 0, 0 upon anything is 0, and if we put t is 0, then e raised to 0 will be 1. So it will be minus 1 upon s. So it will finally look as 2 upon s, and when s is 0, it will be the case of failure, right? So provided that a denominator should not be 0, a denominator should greater than 0, that is s should greater than 0. So Laplace transform of 2 where t greater than 0 is 2 by s, provided that s is greater than 0. Okay. Okay, then we'll define the inverse Laplace transforms. Laplace transform is an expression involving variable s and can be denoted as f of s. That is, f of s is equal to Laplace transform of f of t, which we already defined. It is said that f of t and f of s forms a transform pair, right? That is, if f of s is the Laplace transform of f of t, then f of t is the inverse Laplace transform of f of s. That is, f of t is equal to Laplace inverse of f of s. Remember, for example, if f of t is equal to 4, then f of s is 4 by s. You can find out now. So if I'm taking its inverse now, if f of s is 4 by s, then we'll define, if we want to find out f of t, we'll take Laplace inverse on both sides. That is, Laplace inverse of f of s is Laplace inverse of 4 by s, and Laplace inverse of 4 by s is f of t, that is, it is 4, right? So Laplace inverse of f of s is 4 for this uh, function f of, for this case f of s is 4 by s. Okay, next there is a table. We have derived some formulae to assist in the process of finding Laplace transform and their inverses. This table is used. For example, k, if any constant function is any constant, then we can define its Laplace transform as k by s, where s should greater than 0, right? Or we can simply say if k is equal to 1, any constant, and if that is the particular constant 1, then its Laplace transform is 1 by s. This is also one formula. Laplace transform of 1 is 1 by s, and s should greater than 0. Okay, next, second one is e raised to minus kt. If your function is e raised to minus kt, then its Laplace transform is 1 upon s plus k. And what should be the condition on s? It is it should greater than minus k, so that denominator will not become 0. Okay, next is if it is t, before that, if it is e raised to kt, what will be the Laplace transform? Laplace transform will be 1 upon s minus k, and s should greater than k then. Okay, then we'll move further. That is, if Laplace transform e of t into e raised to minus kt. What we are doing here is we are multiplying by t. So it will look like 1 upon s plus k bracket square. What we do in case if we multiply by t is we are using one formula. We'll see it later. That formula is minus d by ds of f of s. Okay, we'll see it later. But if we use definition of Laplace transform and we solve this t into e raised to minus kt, we get 1 upon s plus k bracket square, and condition should be s should be greater than minus k. Okay, then next is Laplace transform of derivative. What I have said now, we can derive that. That is, for some given f of t and its Laplace transform f of s, where f of s is Laplace transform of f of t, that is integration 0. This is our definition, integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f of t dt. Then Laplace transform of f dash of t is defined as, we just change our f now by f dash, right? That is e0 to infinity e raised to minus st f dash of t dt. Then we integrate this, sorry, we integrate it, e raised to minus st, integration of f dash is f. We are using here uv rule, integrations uv rule, and then we'll get the term s f of s minus f, that is Laplace of f dash of t is s into Laplace of f of t minus f of 0. Remember this formula. Okay, then there are properties. We are taking only two properties here. The Laplace transform and its inverse are linear transforms. That is, the transform of a sum or difference of expressions is the sum or difference of the transforms. That is, Laplace transform of addition or subtraction of functions is equal to Laplace of functions of additions and subtractions. That is, Laplace of f of t plus minus g of t is same as Laplace of f of t plus minus Laplace of g of t. And similarly, in the case of Laplace inverse, we can separate the inverses with addition and subtraction. This is not the case in multiplication. And the second property is the transform of an expression that is multiplied by a constant is the constant multiplied by the transform. That is, Laplace inverse of a f of s is equal to a into Laplace inverse of f of s. That is, if there is a constant multiplied, we can take it outside. For example, if you want to solve the differential equation f dash of t plus f of t equal to 1, where an initial condition is given, that is f of 0 equal to 0. Then in such cases, if one differential equation is given, we solve it by using Laplace transform also. That one is a easy way to solve. What we do is we are taking Laplace transform on both sides of the given differential equations. That is, Laplace of f dash of t plus f of t is equal to Laplace of 1. And we have seen that Laplace of 1 is 1 by s in our formula. Laplace of as Laplace of k is k by s. So if k is 1, it is 1 by s. So and we know the definition of Laplace of f dash t also. Okay, so as Laplace of f of t is f of s, and Laplace of f dash of t is s f of s minus f of 0, which we have derived lastly here. We have derived this formula, right? We are using, first of all, as Laplace of f dash of t plus f of t is there, as plus is there, we can separate them as Laplace of f dash t plus Laplace of f of t by linearity is equal to Laplace of 1. And Laplace of f dash of t is s f of s minus f of 0 plus f of s is equal to Laplace of 1 is 1 by s. So we'll multiply the equation throughout by s. We are getting s plus 1 f of s is equal to 1 by s. So which will finally result in f of s is 1 upon s into s plus 1. We are interested in solving the differential equations. That is, we have to solve it for f of t, and we are getting now f of s. F of s is Laplace transform of f of t, right? So it is 1 upon s 1 upon s into s plus 1. Nextly, we have to separate the denominator by using partial fraction method. So it is, if we use a upon s plus b upon s plus 1, and we cross multiply the things, and then finally we come across a is 1 and b is minus 1. That is, it will get separated as 1 upon s minus 1 upon s plus 1, right? Then f of s is nothing but Laplace of f of t. So we are substituting the Laplace of f of t is 1 upon s minus 1 upon s plus 1. We are interested in f of t, so we take it Laplace inverse on both sides. So it will be just of f of t. So f of t is Laplace inverse of 1 upon s minus 1 upon s plus 1. Now we can again separate as linearity property. So Laplace inverse of 1 by s is 1, and Laplace inverse of 1 upon s plus 1 is e raised to minus t. So your f of t will be 1 minus e raised to minus t. Thus using the using the Laplace transform and its property, we can solve any differential equation where f of 0 is 0. Then our solution is f of t is 1 minus e raised to minus t. Deriving the Laplace transforms of f of t often requires integration by parts. However, this process can sometimes be avoided if the transform of the derivatives is known. For example, if f of t is t, then f dash of t is 1 derivative and f of 0 is 0, so that since Laplace of f dash of t is s into Laplace of f of t minus f of 0, then Laplace of 1 is equal to s into Laplace of t minus 0. We can use directly derivative. Therefore, 1 upon s is equal to s into Laplace transform of t, that is Laplace transform of t is 1 upon s square. You can use derivatives first and then you can use the formula of Laplace. Next, it has already been established that f of s is Laplace of f of t and g of s is Laplace of g of t. Then Laplace of f dash of t is s into f of s minus f of 0 and Laplace of g dash of t is s into g of s minus g of 0. Now let your g of t is f dash of t. So g of 0 is f dash of 0 and g of s is s f of s minus f of 0. So that Laplace of g dash of t is equal to Laplace of f double dash of t. That is equal to s into g of s minus g of 0, and g of s is nothing but g of s is s f of s minus f of 0. So we are substituting the values here. Then finally we are getting Laplace of f double dash of t is s square f of s minus s f of 0 minus f dash of 0. This is again one more formula of double derivative of the function. For example, if f of s is Laplace of f of t, and similarly if we can do the process, then we are getting f dash of t Laplace of f dash of t is s f of s minus f of 0, f double dash of t is s square f of s minus s f of 0 minus f dash of 0, and similarly we can define here Laplace transform of f triple dash of t, it will be s square f of s minus, I'm sorry, s cube f of s minus s square into f of 0 minus s into f dash of 0 minus f double dash of 0. And so the pattern continues. We can write for any derivative. Therefore, if f of t is sine kt, its derivative is k into cos kt, right? And double derivative is minus k square sine kt. And we have one relation which we have derived here. Laplace of f double dash of t is s square f of s minus s f of 0 minus f dash of 0. We are substituting the values here. So Laplace of minus k square sine kt is equal to f of s minus k square. F of s is nothing but Laplace transform of f of t, that is Laplace of sine kt minus s into f of 0. F of 0 is f of 0. If we put t as 0 in f of t, sine 0, that is 0. So f of 0 is 0 minus f dash of 0, and f dash of 0 is, if we put t 0 in f dash of t, we are getting k into cos 0, that is k, right? So our value is s square Laplace of sine kt minus s into 0, that is 0 minus k. So Laplace transform of sine kt is k upon s square plus k square. We can Now directly use this formula as Laplace of sin kt is k upon s square plus k square for further reference. Similarly, we can define for cos also. Laplace of cos kt is s upon s square plus k square. So there is one table now. Remember this, if your function f of t is k, we have already seen it is k by s and s is greater than 0. Second, if it is e raised to minus kt, it is 1 upon s plus k, s is greater than minus k. Next, if it is t into e raised to minus kt, 1 upon s plus k square, s is greater than minus k. Next, if it is sin kt, it is k upon s square plus k square. What is the condition? Condition should denominator should not be 0. That is denominator s square plus k square is greater than 0. Next is cos kt. It is s upon s square plus k square, where denominator is greater than 0. Okay, next, if it is linear constant coefficient in homogeneous differential equations, then to solve such equations we can use Laplace transforms. The form is given of the differential equations, where such all a naught, an, a1, a2, an are constants. Then g of t is known as expression in t, and the values of f of t and its derivatives are known at t is equal to 0. Okay, then the Laplace transform of function is defined as, this is our definition, integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f of t dt. And inverse Laplace transform is defined as 1 upon 2 pi I integration sigma minus j infinity to sigma plus j infinity f of s into e raised to ts ds. Actually, we generally do not use equation second to take the inverse Laplace. However, this is the formal way that one would take the inverse. To use equation B requires a background in the use of complex variables and the theory of residues. Fortunately, we can accomplish the same goal, that of taking the inverse Laplace by using partial fractions. So we need not use the second formula, that is formula equation B. We'll solve the inverse Laplace transforms by using formulas, properties, and by using partial fraction method. Okay, then Laplace transform of unit step function. Unit step function is a function is having value 1 when it is from 0 to infinity, right? So your Laplace of u of t is, it is denoted by u of t and the value is 1. So it is integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st u of t dt, but u of t value is now 1. So substituting 1 and solving the integration, you are getting Laplace of unit step function is 1 upon s. So finally we have concluded that the Laplace transform of unit step is 1 upon s. Next, Laplace transform of unit impulse function. Pictorially, the unit impulse appears as follows, where at t naught it get impulse, it is denoted by delta tau minus tau naught, and mathematically we can say that delta tau minus tau naught is equal to 0, where tau is not equal to 0. And if we are finding its Laplace transform, so Laplace transform of unit step function or unit, the Laplace transform of unit impulse function is equal to 1. Next, the Laplace transform of a unit impulse function, it is an important property of the unit impulse, is a shifting or sampling property. The following is important in case if integration, that property is given to you. In particular, if we let f of t is the given thing, delta tau av delta, then Laplace of delta t is equal to, that is Laplace of unit impulse function is equal to 1. Here is one important point to remember. F of t is f of s. F of t gives you f of s Laplace. And if you are using inverse Laplace of f of s, it will give you f of t. The statement is that f of t and f of s are transform pairs. What this means is that for each f of t, there is a unique f of s, and for each f of s, there is a unique f of t. If we can remember the pair relationship between approximately 10 of the Laplace transform pairs, then we can go a long way. There are actually 10 formulas we have to remember. Okay, then first is building transform pairs. So the pair is Laplace transform of e raised to minus at into u of t. U of t is a unit step function that is considered as 1. So Laplace of e raised to minus at is 1 upon s plus a. So we can actually show you how does it comes. Laplace of e raised to minus at u of t is we are taking the formula, we are substituting the values, then we are finding the integration, and we are substituting the limits from 0 to infinity, and then we are getting it as 1 upon s plus a. Remember this formula. Next is next pair. Next transform pair is Laplace of t u of t. So Laplace of t u of t, by using the definition, using the UV rule, and we are solving this, then we are getting Laplace of t into u of t is 1 upon s square. This is the second transform pair. Next is we call it as building transform pair. Next pair is Laplace of cos omega t. So cos omega t we can define as e raised to I omega t plus e raised to minus I omega t upon 2. That is the formula for cos omega. So substituting in the integration, we'll get 1 upon s minus I omega minus 1 upon s plus I omega. Cross multiplying the things, then we get s upon s square plus omega square. Remember, this also is a formula. Laplace of cos omega t into u of t is s upon s square plus omega square. It is also a transform pair. Next formula is shift formula, which is called as time shift. That is t changed by t minus a everywhere. So Laplace of t, Laplace of f of t minus a into u of t minus a is equal to e raised to minus as into f of s. So let x is equal to t minus a, then integration, we have to find out the integration. We are substituting x is t minus a, so dx is dt and t is x plus a. As t tends to a, x tends to 0, and as t tends to infinity, x tends to infinity. So integration becomes f of x 0 to infinity e raised to minus s into x plus a dx. E raised to minus s as constant we can take outside, and it is just integration 0 to infinity f of x e raised to minus sx dx. So finally that will look as Laplace transform of f of t, and it is denoted by f of s. So finally we can come across the formula. Laplace of f of t minus a u of t minus a is e raised to minus as into f of s. Another formula to remember. Next formula is frequency shift. That is, if we multiply the function f of t by e raised to minus at, then in its transform s gets shifted by a, that is f of s plus a. How does it comes? It is shown here. Just see the formula. We'll get it. It is f of s plus a. Laplace of e raised to minus at f of t is f of s plus a. Then we solve one example by using frequency shift. We have to find the Laplace of e raised to minus at cos omega t. In this case, f of t is cos omega t. So f of s is means f of s is Laplace of f of t. So Laplace of cos omega t is s upon s square plus omega square. And if you are using f of s plus a, then everywhere we are changing it by s plus a upon s plus a square upon omega square, right? So Laplace of e raised to minus at cos omega t is e s plus a s upon s plus a square plus omega square. What we are doing is we are writing the formula for cos, Laplace of cos omega t, s upon s square plus omega square, and then we are writing Laplace of e raised to minus at into cos omega t. That is, we are applying the formula. If we multiply the function by e raised to something, then we have to add, if it is minus something, then we have to add it to s, and if it is plus something, then we have to subtract it. Therefore, Laplace of e raised to minus at cos omega t is, as it is minus, it will get added, that is s plus a, to our formula, that is s plus a upon s plus a square plus omega square or w square. Okay. Next property is time integration, and the property is Laplace transform of integration 0 to infinity of f of t. That is, if we are taking the integration of the function over 0 to infinity, then your formula will be 1 upon s into f of s. Simply remember this. If integration is taken, if the integration is taken of the function, then its Laplace is, you have to simply multiply it by 1 by s. That is, Laplace of integration 0 to infinity f of t dt is 1 upon s into f of s. We have solved this by using by parts.